Hello, hello, hello! We are back with some mapping. Let's frickin' go! Okay, so we fixed I managed to fix the issue that I was dealing with yesterday. So now all of the zombies are spawning in the areas that they should be spawning in. But what I still need to do is make it so they despawn when the area they spawned in is closed. That is what we're going to work on today, but I don't think it should take too long to do. Unless something goes wrong like yesterday, which would be very tragic indeed. Cool. So let us get started. So first I need to find where it is I actually do all this stuff. So check locations. So basically after this iteration of the while loop, or let's see, where would we do this? Where would we do this? Boop, 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 boop. I suppose what we'd probably do is do a for loop underneath this one. So this is after we've actually let me see. I think what we'll do is we'll put it between two weights actually. So we'll put weight 2 and weight 3, and in between this we'll say for I equals 0, I is less than, could do locators, doesn't really matter which one I do. Yeah, we'll do locators then, locators.size I++, and actually we could do I equals 1, because we're not using locator 0 as there's no spawn point at that one. So I've got this, this area zones here now. So basically we deactivate spawning on the zone when the zombies can't spawn there, pretty much. And we should have some triggers in each of these. Although I think I can only select those ones from here. They are the trigger box ones. So locator 2. Yeah. So basically, if any zombies are touching one of these triggers and the area is off limits to zombies, we are going to kill any zombies that are actually touching this trigger. So to determine basically whether zombie is touching said trigger, what I guess we could do maybe is get all create a for loop for all the zombies instead. I do forget sometimes how to get all zombies, so let me have a look at one of my scripts. I think in the nuke one maybe we would get all zombies. Power up nuke. Yeah, right here. So zombies get AI team array. Level.zombie team. To do that, And then we'll go with Z, for Z equals, ooh, maybe we could do a for each, actually, we could do, for each zombie in zombies, or is it of? No, it's here. For each zombie in zombies. It's confusing because I do JavaScript as well, and it's of in JavaScript. So for each zombie in zombies, I'm just trying to think what the most efficient method for this would be, because like we're trying to find all the zombies and then we're trying to find if each of those zombies is touching any of the triggers, and that's kind of a lot. So I think what would be better actually is if we created an array to tell us what areas were available or what spawners were available in the last iteration of this while loop, and then only check those spawners if those ones are now inactive. So what we could do then is maybe make a new array here. Yeah, I need to get up my thingy on the other screen. There we go. Let's see. What would we call this? Last spawners available equals empty array. And actually we'll define this up here, because otherwise we're going to be resetting this to blank at the start of every iteration, which we don't want. And then we'll say every time we put the spawner to true, we'll basically add the index of that spawner to the last spawner's available array. So we're actually going to have to make this a level dot one so we can use it everywhere. So we'll say if not is an array, level dot last spawners available I. So we're making sure that this index isn't already in this array, because if it is already in the array, we're not going to want to add it again, because we don't want duplicate values, because that's just going to waste space. So we'll say it's not in the array and we want to add it to the array, so we'll say array insert level if I can spell, last spawners available I, and the index, it doesn't honestly matter about where we put it in the array, so we'll just put it at index 0. But I guess we could actually turn this into its own function, so we don't have to duplicate this code to up here as well. Yes. Yes, I do agree with that. Yeah, so we'll make this into its own function. So we'll say function add spawner, or enable spawner. And we can actually put this in there as well, to be fair. Hang on, I just fucked up this. Silly me. Let me move this into here. And then call the function here, enable spawner. Area zones I, so we're going to need the index as a parameter here. Change this to index. And then change both of these to index as well. And then put an I here as the parameter. And then we're going to want to do the same up there as well. Right here. And here L is going to be the parameter. Okay. So now, basically, every time this, for each one of these iterations, this array is going to get populated with the indexes of all the currently active spawners. So then we've got to basically compare that to the current list of spawners each time. So how exactly are we going to do that? We are going to do it in some way, that's for sure. We just got to figure out the best method for this. How do we do this? I don't know. Well. Yes. Seems to be quite difficult, actually. Yeah, actually, what we're going to need then is another one of these, but for the current spawners available. So we'll say level.current spawners available as well. And then instead of using last spawners available down here, this would be current spawners available. And then at the start of each iteration, that's actually no. I think we'd want to do it. Yeah, we'd want to do it here, I guess. But we'll wait 2 seconds first, and then we want to say we're going to loop through all of the indexes of current spawners available. So for I equals 0, I is less than level. Well, this could be a for each loop actually. For each index in level.current spawners available. And we basically want to see if this index exists in last spawners available. So we'll say if is in array level.last spawners available index. So if index is in the array, then we're going to remove it, I think, right? Or oh god, what am I doing? What am I doing? Because basically at the end of this, we're going to want a list of all the spawners. We have to check whether there's zombies inside, because those are the spawners that are now deactive. Maybe this isn't what we want to call this. We could say spawners queued for deactivation. And how do we populate this? I guess what we'd do I think we need both actually. Last spawners available and spawners queued for deactivation, but we probably aren't going to need this one or the last spawners available anywhere else other than this function, so they don't have to have the level in front of it. So then we're looping through all of the current spawners available. We're checking if the index of it is in last spawners available, or should we loop through the last spawners available? That might be better if we do for each index in last spawners available. We can then check if it's in current spawners available, or if it's not even. So we can say if not is in array, level.current spawners available index. So we're checking if the index if each index in last spawners available, if it's not in the current spawners, that then means we have to deactivate that spawner. So we would then add it to the deactivate array. Or we could I'm just thinking what could be the best method for this, because another way we could go about this is scrapping this array here and instead getting all of the zombies to each one of these, checking if that zombie is within the trigger linked to the spawner index that we're talking about, and killing the zombie. We could do it that way, or we could add it to this array instead, loop through all of the elements of this array after, or get all the zombies and then check if each zombie is in range of any of these triggers. I'm just trying to think what the more efficient way of doing this would be. And I'm thinking more towards the second method I mentioned at the moment. Well, I don't know though, because it's not like it's not like this is going to happen often. Like, this will only happen when a spawner is needs to be deactivated within 5 seconds. In order for that to have like the maximum amount of values that could be would be like, well, the amount of doors there are, so like 14 or maybe 13. But the only way that can happen is if all of the doors get deactivated at the exact same time, which, like, how rare is that? Like, realistically, the max amount this could probably would be like 3, maybe. So if we get all zombies each time we're doing that, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So what we could do then is get all zombies there, loop through all the zombies, because what we're trying to do here is we're checking if the zombie is in range of, or if the zombie is within one of these area triggers that is now closed off. So what have we got here? We've got is it area zones? No, it's not area zones, it's we must have it somewhere. Trigger, watch door. Maybe we don't then, because we need an array of all of these triggers pretty much. So I think we're going to have to create one then, in that case. We'll create up here, we'll say level dot area triggers equals empty array, and then when we define the trigger, we will go array insert level dot area triggers. The trigger itself and the index, and this one here can be I as well. That's unnecessary. Okay, so we've got the area triggers array now, so that's the trigger of all of these. That's the array of all of these triggers for each area. So then, what we are doing is we need to see if the zombie is touching the trigger that we're looking at, which is index. So if zombie is touching level.area triggers index, so we're getting the area trigger that's associated with the index that we're looking for, and if that zombie is touching it, that zombie needs to be despawned. So we're probably gonna make a new function for despawning the zombies, but it would make more sense if we do that in the zombie manager script, which I don't know if we've got open or not. No, I don't think we do. Let's open that. Zombie manager. We'll put it right at the bottom here. Despawn zombie. So then in here we're going to need a reference to zombie manager, or a using or whatever. So zombie manager, and then we can say down here zombie thread zombie manager despawn zombie. So it's going to execute this function basically that every zombie that is touching the trigger that's now deactivated. So basically, if a zombie is in an area that's completely blocked off from a player, that zombie is going to get called on this function, which will then start the process of despawning the zombie. And I just need to go get my kitty cat in because it is getting dark outside. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I am indeed back. Okay, so we were despawning the zombie. That is what we were doing. So we don't want to just straight up kill the zombie, because we want it to have the, even though we are killing them, we want it to have the illusion that they are being despawned instead of just straight up dying. Illusion that what we're going to do is we're going to have a little platform underneath the map, which we already have here. I don't know why we do, but we do apparently. And my radiant has frozen. It does do that now and then. There we are. So we're going to need it a bit lower though, because basically we want it so we can't hear the sounds of the zombies dying. Obviously that's going to defeat the purpose of this completely if we can hear them dying. So I think about that's fine. And we'll just need to put all this a bit lower as well, just so the platform is actually within the range. So let us just go ahead and grab each one of these and drag them down one by one. Probably don't need to do it with lit fog actually, and I won't need to do it with the volume, the player volume either. Okay, that is good. I think maybe we'll have them all go to the same spot down here, like right in the middle. So the platform probably doesn't need to be this big to be fair, but we'll just leave it that big for now. So let's create a new script origin all the way down there. Oh, I was just going to center it, but it seems like it's already gone to 0, 0. That's convenient. I guess that's because I've got it on 512 at the moment. Just need to put that down to the floor. That one. Get rid of that shit. And just put angles to 0. Why is that live message outputting again? That's weird. It's like my stream ended, but now it's live again. What is going on? Seems fine on YouTube though. And it seems fine on Twitch. Oh no, my Twitch stream has restarted, it looks like. Interesting. I don't know why it did that, but oh well, I guess. Not a big deal. Okay, so we'll call this despawn zombie pause. And then we can actually make this into a global variable, which we'll put up here. We'll say level.despawn zombie pause equals get int despawn zombie pause and target name. So basically we're just getting this new entity here And we're basically going to want to teleport any zombie that's despawned into that position. So, how do I teleport a zombie? I think is it force teleport? I'm not sure if we use force teleport or not, I can't remember. But I can take a look at one of my other maps. Mario Tower Defense 2 comes to mind, because I definitely do that a lot over here. Probably Zombie Manager. Let's see. Where are we? Oh my god, this script is long. Okay, yeah, it is force teleport. Okay, let's just copy this then. And go back to our zombie manager for this map. And we'll say self, because self in this case is the zombie. Self force teleport to the level.despawn zombie pos .origin. So that's going to move every zombie that needs to despawn to that position. Then we're going to wait 1 second, and actually no, we don't have to kill the zombie through script. What we can do is get a trigger damage. Actually, no, I think it's that was a trigger hurt, I think, actually. Yeah. Set the damage to something really high. And we'll just put it here. So basically, as soon as a zombie teleports to this position, they will die. Make it big, just so zombies can't end up avoiding it. Like so. Do we need any of these? No. All of that's fine. So yes, as soon as a zombie teleports this position, they will die. Like so. But before we do that, we're gonna have to add the zombie back into the array, the array for like how many zombies should be spawning that round. Because basically, if we kill every zombie at the moment, that's going to take off a zombie from that array. We don't want to do that. We want the same amount of zombies all the time, and that zombie that dies there should get added back into the array. So I've got to have a look at what this array is, because I can't remember. I think it's in round spawning or something. Get current zombie count, level.ai limit. Is it level.ai limit? No, it's zombie total. Yeah, I think. Oh, I could use zombie respawns to work as well. Yeah. I'll try zombie respawns then. So we basically just want to go ahead and put this before we teleport the zombie. So increment level.zombie respawns by 1, teleport them to that death position, and then they'll get respawned to a new area that's actually unlocked or that's available or whatever. The one thing we're missing at the moment though is the last spawn is available. We need to update this straight after to make it equal to the current spawners available. So last spawners available equals level.current spawners available. And then that should work, I believe. And just to make sure this is actually working, let's just put a quick debug in here and say kill zombie, or respawn zombie would make more sense. And also we can get rid of this because I don't believe we use this, do we? We do not. So that should technically work. Let us give it a go. We just got to build the lighting, save the project. There it is, all saved. So now we just gotta compile and try this out. No errors, bolonk. And now we wait. Do 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 do. Bum 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 do 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 do. Okay. Okay. What shall I do while we're waiting for this? Because this is going to take a little while. Well, basically what I'm going to be replicating with this as well are effects from this video with zombies dying, spawning, and well, spawning and respawning, I guess. Although I can't really look at this video very easily while this is compiling, otherwise my PC is gonna go bye-bye, I guess. So I have already got some sound effects prepared, I believe. Let us find them. Sonar, random. There's random, here you are. Yeah, here we are. Enemy despawn. So this sound effect will play every time the zombie, well, despawns. Of course, as it says. This will be when they spawn, and this will be when they die. And what I want from this is, for them dying, I want their ragdoll to basically disappear within like half a second, because that's how it is in Persona. So they'll still fall over and stuff, play the sounds, and then disappear. So one way I can actually do that easily is by making it so they can actually fall through the ground when they ragdoll. So all I have to do with that is clip this instead. So now they'll still walk normally on this, but when they die, they'll just fall straight through the ground and onto this lower platform that we can't see. And what I like to do when I do that, because we don't obviously need to see the ragdolls because we can't see them, we can despawn the ragdolls quicker than the game usually would. I don't know if I already have this function in my script. I doubt I do. Let's see. No, doesn't look like I do. No, okay, that's fine. What we'll do then is we will go to one of my maps, of course. Probably like Sweet Canyon or something, because we do the same thing over there. And I assume it would probably be in the main scripts. Oh, here it is, right here actually. Wait to clear all boss corpses and clear corpses, perfect. So, we'll get rid of that now and put this in the main script for this map. We'll put it like at the bottom but above the temp stuff. So, right here. Clear corpses, and this would be an infinite loop. Might as well end on end game. End on end game. If the current entity amount is less than 950. So what that's basically doing is we're clearing the corpses quicker if the entity amount is over 950, because if the entity amount reaches 1024, I think it was, the game crashes. So basically we just want to make sure we're deleting them a lot quicker if it gets over that, which it probably won't, but just in case. So that's fine the way it is at the moment. We can get rid of this because this is just the bosses of Sweet Canyon, which we don't have. So we'll take this out of there and put this there instead. Yes, that should work. So we're deleting the corpses every 4.5 seconds, pretty much. Which works out perfectly. My god, is it still not done? Okay. It is about to load now, at least. Oh yes, I need to actually execute this clear corpses function though. So we'll do that probably after settings are locked in, probably down here. We'll say thread clear clear corpses. Voila. Okay, so that is that done. Let's wait for this to load and see if it works. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ba da 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 do 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 do. Why is this taking so long to load? Oh my god. Okay, so we are in locator 2 at the moment. So all of the zombies should only spawn at this window here. They are indeed. Now, if I was to open this door and close it behind me, all of these zombies should technically despawn because they have no path to me anymore. Let's open up one of these doors instead. Let's close this one. So they should despawn. No? Okay. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a spike stream without issues after all. What have we done wrong here? This error is making me lose my voice. What is happening? Area manager. So we're looping through all this crap. And then after this, we're looping through the indexes of last spawners available. I need to add more debugs really, because it could be anywhere this is going wrong. Could indeed. It could even be the for each loops, that's a problem, because I don't really use for each ones that often. So maybe I'm getting those wrong. Or it could even be that this isn't getting added. It looks like that should be working. Let's try output an index and see what happens here. An output here, not an array, and then output here. Touching. And we'll compile that and see what debugs we're getting. So that's the best way to try and figure out what's going wrong. The power of debugging. While we're waiting for that to load, let's just have another look through this code and see if I could try and figure out what is actually going wrong. So, current spawners available. Now that I don't think can be the issue. Because we're enabling spawners, so this would be getting outputted or executed. If it's not, if the index isn't in this array, add it in. So I think current spawners available should definitely be working. Waiting 2 seconds for each index in last spawners available. Of course, for the first iteration, this won't do anything because last spawners available will be blank. But then after this, last spawners available is set to the same array as current spawners available. But then when we loop back, the contents of current spawners available will be changing. In fact, actually, I just noticed a problem. We don't actually reset current spawners available, which means values are just going to keep getting added. So what we're going to need then is up here to say exactly this actually. We're just resetting the array and setting the current ones again. Then for each index and last spawn is available. So last spawn is available should be populated by the second iteration. And if the index isn't in, if the current index we're looking at isn't in, current spawn is available. Ah, that's it. That's the problem. Let's cancel this. We literally just did fix it actually by adding this in, by resetting this array. Because basically, what were we were in like area 2, I think. So what would have happened here without this, if this was commented out and didn't exist, we would have added 2 to this array down here. So 2 would be in this array. Then on the first iteration, last spawners available will be equal to that. So last spawners available will contain 2 in its index. Then on the second iteration, we loop back. We loop through all of the indexes in last spawners available, which would just be 2. And then this is the part that's going wrong. We're making sure that 2 isn't already in current spawners available. Because if it is, that means index 2 is still available. So we don't want to kill zombies in there. But the problem is 2 is never actually getting removed from the array, even when it's not available anymore, because the array is never getting reset. So that's why this should hopefully solve our problems here. We will see, that's for sure. Just gotta wait for this. So while I'm waiting for that to compile, I guess we could start adding in the sound effects. Starting off with the respawning one. We could probably do that in here. I need to have a look at the play sound acquisition thing, because I always forget the parameter order of that. This is taking ages because my PC is trying to compile my map. Oh no, oh no, oh no. How very tragic. Play sound acquisition. So we have the sound first and then the position. Because we could use play sound and play it on the zombie, but the thing is the zombie is going to be teleporting away, so the zombie is going to take the sound with them. So that's why we'd want to use play sound acquisition instead. So I've already set up this sound effect, or all of these actually. Where are we? Oh, right here. So P5 enemy despawn. We want to play this here, and for the origin, we want to play it on the zombies origin, so south dot or if I can spell origin, that is. There we go. So we're playing that the despawn sound on the zombies origin, and because we're using play sound at position, the sound isn't going to get carried with the zombie. It's just going to stay in the same place where the zombie was. And this is loading now, so we will take a look to see if this is working. Okay, so we are in locator 9 right now, so all the zombies should be spawned at this window here. And that does seem to be the case. Let's just wait for them all to spawn. That's all 6 of them, I believe, so let's open this door. And as soon as we close this door, or soon after, all of the zombies should despawn. Yes. One of them did. Huh? Hang on. What is happening? Why are you guys not despawning? No! What is going on this time? This has to be a joke. Hang on, let me restart this because I saw some debug stuff coming up, but I thought it was working, so I didn't really pay attention to it. Wait for all these guys to spawn. And that's all of them. Let's open this door, open the next one, and then close this one. And let's actually pay attention to the debug this time. Not in array. So not in array got outputted. It didn't look like anything else did. Let's have a look. So not in array gets outputted at this point, which is good. So it looks like it's this that's going wrong. It's saying that the zombie isn't touching the trigger, which is weird. Why is that the case then? How very interesting. Because touching worked on that first, I assume this output on the first try we did this, but on the second try this didn't happen at all. That is quite strange. It is quite strange, I think. Because we're adding in We are adding in the correct trigger to each index. Yeah. So that should be fine. Check if the zombie is touching the trigger, but apparently they are not. Ah. How very strange. But why? Why are they not touching the trigger? Only thing I can think of is that this is a for each loop. Let's try making it a for loop instead, because I'm not a fan of for each loops, to be fair. Let's just do I equals 0, I is less than, last spawners available size, I plus plus. And then every time we put index, we put in last spawners available I. Yes, okay. Let's try that instead then and see if we get a different result with that. And while that is compiling, we'll go ahead and add in the rest of the sound effects. So the death one and the spawning one. So the spawning one will go in spawner, do zombie rise. Because we are actually going to change these to rising zombies instead of the just spawn in there ones. So I might as well do that next actually. Because we're going to have the effects of them spawning, which will cover up the look of them coming out the ground and get rid of all the dirt, the default dirt and all that plays when when they come out the ground. So we want to change each of these to a riser location instead of a spawn location. Do 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 do. Why is my computer lagging? This is unacceptable. Oh my god, come on. Give me a break. Where are we? Here we are. Do 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 do. Oh my god! Freaking computer! Although it makes sense. I mean, I'm doing freaking Radiant shit, streaming at the same time. Ain't gonna go well. Aha, hello, Riff. Well, I would say I'm winning. Although I am getting some errors. Well, not errors, but it's just not working the way it should at the moment. So I'm just trying to fix everything. And my computer is lagging. Yeah, it is being blurred, but it makes sense to be fair because I'm compiling my map at the same time. But I don't like just sitting here and doing nothing while I'm waiting for the map to compile. So I'm trying to do stuff at the same time. Which therefore is killing my PC. And Radiant is just being Radiant, so that doesn't help. Okay. That one doesn't have a spawner. Okay, so that's all of them there. So now we are just waiting for this to load, so we can do some testing. Okay. So I've definitely made quite a bit of progress because oh, there we go. Lag! Oh my god! So zombies will only spawn in areas that are actually available. Like areas that have a direct path to the player. So at the moment every single zombie is spawning here because this door is closed. So I'm gonna open this door, open this one, and what should happen is all of these zombies will despawn and go to this window. But it wasn't working last time. Yeah, and it's still not working. Are all 5 of the zombies there? Or did... all 6 rather. Yeah, all 6 of them are there, so that is not working for some reason. Ow! How rude. That is weird. I don't know why that isn't working. Oh, very strange. Where are we? We need area manager. But it's this bit that isn't working. Unless I'm getting the format of is touching wrong, but I think that's right. Is touching. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that is the same format. That is weird. Unless these box colliders that I'm using don't work with zombies. That could also be the case, because this is the first time I'm actually using Trigger Box. Is this not player? Wish it would tell me the description of what each of these do. Wonder if I can change this to a trigger use without it fucking up. Probably not. Where is it gone now? Oh my god, stop lagging, PC. Why are you doing this? Where the hell am I now? Okay, where the hell is this trigger gun? I think I've just completely broken, to be honest. Yes, I think that could definitely be the issue here. I'm not sure what else to do with that. Because I could try using trigger users instead, but it's going to take time to actually set that up. What I think I'm going to do instead actually is do a bit of testing with this. Yes, let's try this, because I want to actually figure out whether it is the box triggers that just don't work with zombies. So we'll put out a trigger use here, which I know does work with zombies. Call it no icon for a start. Test trigger use, and we'll put a box trigger over here. So I would rather use a box trigger for this stuff, but obviously if it doesn't work with zombies, well, then I can't. Simple as that. So we've got that one there, we got that one there. So we'll call this test trigger box. So let us just put some temporary code in here. Try and figure out what is happening. So we'll say temp test box trigger while true. Actually, I want to put this before the while true. Test trigger use equals get int test trigger use target name. Yeah, then we need the zombies array, so let us do this. Format that properly. Zombie is touching. I got rid of too many brackets, there we go. Is touching test trigger use. Let's just call this test trigger actually, so we don't have to rename that across both functions. Touch in. Wait, this should be use trigger actually. Use. Touch in. Use trigger. And that's all we want. We just want debug. And we'll do this every 3 seconds. And then we would want box trigger. Test trigger box. Touch in box trigger. And then we just need to thread them up here. Temp test box trigger. Temp test use trigger. Save that shit. And save this shit as well. And we just have to remember that the use trigger is on the right of Igor and the box trigger is on the left. And we shall see what the hell is going on. Yes, it's good to be back with it. It has taken a while, but we are here again. No, social links unfortunately will not be a thing. Because this map is literally just going to be the Velvet Room. But, I mean, we've got Igor, I guess, at least. And the twins, and we got some cool characters. All of the playable characters, in fact. Bip 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 doop boop 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 doop bup 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 dup. Do. While I'm waiting for that, actually, let's continue to add these sound effects in. We were doing that in ZM Spawner with the spawning sound effects. And we'll probably, instead of having to do everything in here, we'll probably execute a function to the zombie manager script instead. So we'll say thread, actually self thread. So we're doing this on the zombie. Zombie manager spawned zombie, and then we need to add zombie manager up here. So let's copy that, add zombie manager, and then in zombie manager, where are you? There you are. We need to add a new function called the exact thing, spawn zombie, and at the moment we'll just print a debug out to say that we spawned a zombie. How is this doing? Okay, still Lincoln. And then we also need to add one sound effect when the zombie dies. So I think the zombie dying stuff is in here as well, somewhere. Zombie damage. No, that's zombie spawn. I think it might be wait till death or something, so let's type in death. and see if we can find this. Zombie death event. Damage failsafe. Wait, what was that one? Check for zombie death. No, that's not it. I think it should be in here somewhere, but I'm surprised if it's this far down. Oh, zombie damage. Maybe that's it? No, I don't think that's it. Oh, zombie death event, perfect. So, I guess what we want to do in here then is just do the same thing we did with the despawning thing, with the play, sound, at position. Where was that? Area zombie manager? Yeah, here we are. So play sound at position. Change self to zombie.origin. Enemy die. Was it die or was it death? It was. Yeah, it was die. Okay. Cool. This is loading now. Do Okay. Whoa, calm down. Freaking ADS toggle bullshit. Okay, so let's just open this up straight away. So if a zombie walks over here, it should output that they are in the box trigger. If they walk over here, it should output that they're in the use trigger. So that is what we are testing right now. I just need to get my stream back up actually. Okay. Come on, zombies. I mean, they're not zombies, clearly. They are just little guys. Just little guys. Oh, okay, so the box trigger does work for zombies then. Interesting. So we know that the box triggers are not the issue then. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So what the actual hell have I done wrong? This does not make sense. It does not. Like, what is going on? I think I'm just gonna have to do some more debugging, unfortunately. Because area triggers, like, they should all be getting added to the array in the right order. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, what I'm gonna do, just so it's a bit clearer, is get rid of some of these other arrays for now. Not arrays, debugs, so it's less confusing. Last spawn is available. That's fine, because that's outputting the index of the frickin' one that the zombies are in. Not in array is fine, because that's telling us that this bit's working for each zombie and zombies. That should definitely be working. And then if zombie is touching that, maybe we should output the origin of that, just to make sure it's defined. So open and bold. Well, let's just copy this. Ain't no one got time for that. Do that dot origin. Yes. That should do that then. Okay. Okay, well let's try this and see what happens. Although we should probably do this actually not in the for each loop. Otherwise... actually fuck it, we'll do it in the for each loop. Okay, we don't need to compile light on this one. Yeah. Okie dokie, so while we are waiting for that, we might as well get rid of these actually, because we know that the box triggers are working now. Of course I can't bloody select the thing though, can I? I have to find it in here. Thankfully it's the first one. And now we can get rid of that temp code. Get rid of these. And these two. Dun, dun, do, 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 do. Alright, well I'll probably be ending the stream soon anyway, so if this doesn't work, at least I can... well, it's not going to work, but it should at least output some debugs, so I know what's going on. So at least I'll be able to fix this for before I start the next stream. Ay, ay, ay. Why do you take so long? Twisted Dimension, let's go! Every time I see this, I just want to play Twisted Dimension. Where is it? Okay, what have we got? Let us have a look. So let's wait for them all to spawn in. Rise animation is kind of slow actually. I'll have to play around with that to make it look good. Okay, now let's watch the debugs and see what's going on. Okay, so the origin is getting outputted 366 minus 329, 366 minus 329. 336 minus 329. Let's check the origin of 13, because that's the one that we were just testing. That we just spawned in or whatever. Come on, computer! Oh yeah, of course, we need to frickin' go for each damn box collider or trigger until we find the one that is for 13. That is, but that's not 336 minus 329. Which one is 336 then? I think it was 336, wasn't it? Was it not 336? Well, none of those are 336, so I'm a bit confused. Oh, now that... Oh, hang on. Oh. Okay, they're touching the use trigger that's out here still because, yeah, whatever. I compiled it after or before I had removed those.
It's hot.
Just want to do that and open this one again so they all spawn here. Close it. $336 minus $329 and 31. All these are 31. No, they're 57. So this origin that it's outputting is inaccurate. The origin of the trigger, so that's just very helpful, isn't it? Oh my god, what is happening? Okay. Well, it's fine. At least we know what part of the code is causing it, because it's obviously this. This just isn't getting outputted, even though the zombie should be touching that trigger. But the only thing I can think of is it's testing the wrong trigger. Like, we want it to see if they're touching trigger 13 in this case, but maybe the trigger it's checking is trigger 14 or something. Although I feel like that shouldn't be the case, but maybe it is. I just need to try and debug what the hell's going on with that. But I think that is where I will end the stream for today, because we've been going for nearly 2 hours now. And I know that this part, where I'm just trying to fix these damn things and debugging, and constantly trying to load the game, and it's taken like 10 minutes, is probably quite boring. So it's best if I try and fix these bits off stream to do the more interesting kind of stuff on stream. So, in other words, it is time for me to fuck off. So, thank you all for watching and chilling with myself, and I shall see you all next time. Ta-ta!